A tale that would shake a little town to its core emerged in the middle of Alabama. It's a murder mystery that reads like a page out of a crime novel, involving love, betrayal, and murder. For the residents of Morris, Alabama, however, it was all too true. This is the tale of Cindy K. Henderson Reese, a woman whose life took a terrible turn that resulted in the murder of her husband and the discovery of a lie. Cindy was born on January 5th, 1975, in the small Alabama town of Morris, where community and church played a significant role in day-to-day activities. As an adult, Cindy got deeply active in her local Baptist church and finally rose to the position of music minister. Her lovely voice and dedication to her beliefs earned her recognition in the community. Cindy's life was not without its difficulties. Her first marriage ended tragically when her spouse killed himself. Despite her loss, Cindy fell in love again with Michael Reese. Michael and Cindy seemed like an ideal marriage. They were together for a year and a half before 2009 when they tied the knot. Michael and Cindy seemed like the ideal couple to everyone around them. They attended church together, cooked barbecues, and appeared madly in love. But as we are all aware, looks may be deceiving. Sardis Baptist Church welcomed Jeffrey David Brown as its new pastor in 2013. No one foresaw that his arrival would set off a series of events that would culminate in disaster. At first, everything appeared normal. Pastor Brown was dynamic, attractive, and immediately became a favorite among the church. But behind closed doors, something dreadful was stirring. Cindy and Pastor Brown began an affair in the fall of 2013. It's difficult to hide secrets in a little town like Morris. However, they were able to conceal their relationship for several months. Pastor Brown baptized Michael, Cindy's husband, which is how the families first met. Throughout 2014, the Brown and Reese families became close friends. This included the Reeses babysitting Brown's children, showing a high level of trust. Cindy and Pastor Brown even opened a joint savings account. She also allowed him to use her credit for his car and apartment, though she claims she didn't pay any associated bills. According to Cindy Reese's testimony, the affair became physical in spring 2014. The sexual aspect of the relationship reportedly lasted from spring to fall 2014. At this time, Cindy went to Disney World with Michael to try to make her marriage work. This was their second honeymoon where they tried to reconnect, but she was unable to avoid Brown. During this vacation, Cindy claimed that Brown wouldn't leave her alone, constantly calling and interrupting their time together. After returning home, Cindy said the physical part of her affair with Brown ended, but they continued to speak daily. As the affair deepened, Cindy's feelings for her husband seemed to sour. According to later testimony from Brown, Cindy often talked about wanting to get rid of Michael. She allegedly threatened to kill him or poison him, even threatening she would claim insanity if discovered. What appeared to be an ordinary day on February 18th, 2015 turned into a nightmare. Cindy allegedly went to lunch with Brown to assist him with the divorce paperwork. At that point, Jeff got fired from being a pastor because of the affair, or was getting a divorce for the same reason. She later went to church with Michael, after which they had picked up some food from Milo's and headed home. Cindy informed Michael that she had to stop at Piggly Wiggly for groceries on the way home. This seemingly harmless request was a component of a larger scheme. After arriving home, Cindy helped Michael bring in the fast food from Milo's Hamburgers and left the house again. What happened next is chilling. Someone entered the house while Cindy was gone, allegedly Brown, and shot Michael once in the head. Cindy set up the situation to appear like a botched heist when she got home. She turned over the coffee table and scattered items around the room. Then, in a cold-blooded move, Cindy picked up the house phone, stepped outside, and called 911. She reported finding her home in disarray, never mentioning that her husband was lying dead by the back door. When police arrived, they discovered Michael's body and a Piggly Wiggly bag with ham and orange juice, indicating an earlier grocery trip. Detectives immediately sensed something was off. Cindy never asked about her husband's condition or if he was alive. Instead, she was quickly put in the back of a patrol car. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered the affair between Cindy and Pastor Brown. They also learned about a $50,000 life insurance policy on Michael's life, with Cindy as the beneficiary. The motive was becoming clear. Cindy and Brown wanted to be together, and the insurance money was an added bonus. Phone records revealed that Cindy had called Brown 11 times between the morning of February 18th and the morning of February 19th. Brown had called her 7 times during the same period. Less than a month after Michael's death, both Cindy and Jeffrey Brown were arrested and charged with murder. The case went to trial in 2016. With Brown agreeing to testify against Cindy in exchange for a lesser charge of manslaughter. As part of the deal, he received a sentence of 20 years in prison for his role in the crime. During the trial, shocking details emerged. Brown testified about Cindy's frequent comments about wanting to kill Michael. He revealed their plans and how Cindy had given him a gun and jewelry at a gas station on the night of the murder. He claimed that Cindy had shot Michael and then met him at a gas station, declaring, "It's done," and giving him the murder weapon to dispose of. However, the defense challenged this account, pointing out the lack of physical evidence linking Cindy to the crime and questioning the bullet course, which seemed inconsistent with Cindy's height. As the trial progressed, more peculiar details came to light. Prosecutors highlighted inconsistencies in Cindy's alibi, noting that she had claimed to have rushed out of the house for orange juice and lunch meat, despite having ample supplies at home. Her explanation for meeting Jeff at a gas station to give him money raised suspicions about their ongoing relationship. A search of Cindy's office revealed telling evidence. Investigators found photos displaying her relationships with both Michael Reese and Jeff Brown, along with financial documents showing she was supporting Jeff financially. This discovery suggested a complex love triangle and a potential motive for the crime. Cindy took the stand in her own defense, denying many of Brown's claims. She admitted to the affair, but insisted she never asked Brown to kill her husband. She claimed she was in shock when the police arrived, attributing her strange behavior to PTSD from her first husband's self-inflicted death. During the initial investigation, detectives questioned Cindy about potential suspects. When asked if she had any idea who could have committed the crime, or if Michael had any enemies, Cindy claimed ignorance. She did mention a contractor who had been working on their house extension, suggesting him as a potential lead, though she doubted his involvement. As the investigation progressed, rumors began to circulate in the community. There were whispers of inappropriate behavior, including complaints about people having sex in the church parking deck. These rumors spread quickly, threatening to tarnish Cindy's reputation as the choir director at their Baptist church. Michael's family and friends attended to ensure he received justice, while Cindy's supporters, including her mother and uncle, strongly believed in her innocence. Cindy's mother insisted that Jeff Brown was solely responsible for the murder, stating she knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that her daughter was not the killer. The defense also attempted to shift suspicion onto Jeff, suggesting he was obsessed with Cindy and had a stronger motive for the murder. They emphasized the absence of forensic evidence tying Cindy to the scene and portrayed Jeff as an unreliable witness. The prosecution, however, painted a different picture. They portrayed Cindy as the mastermind behind Michael's murder, suggesting a motive rooted in the community's social dynamics. According to their theory, Cindy feared the stigma of divorce in their conservative community. Rather than face judgment for having an affair and getting divorced, she allegedly orchestrated her husband's murder so she could be seen as a victim instead. Despite her denials, the evidence against Cindy was overwhelming. The jury found her guilty, and in 2017, she was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Cindy's conviction was not the end of her journey. Cindy was unexpectedly transferred from Julia Tutwiler Prison for Women to a work release program in Birmingham, less than 3 years into her 40-year sentence. This decision sparked outrage, especially as the center was within walking distance of those who investigated and prosecuted her case, and a short drive from Michael's still grieving family. The backlash was swift and intense. Many felt that Cindy was receiving preferential treatment, and questions were raised about the decision-making process that led to her transfer. As the result of public outcry, Cindy was sent back to Tutwiler Prison. As of the latest reports, Cindy Reese is serving her 40-year sentence at the maximum security Tutwiler Prison in Wetumpka, Alabama. She is classified as a minimum out inmate, meaning she's considered to pose minimal risk. Despite the seriousness of her crime, Cindy may have a chance at freedom earlier than expected. Her first parole consideration is scheduled for 2030. Just 15 years into her 40-year sentence. If denied parole, her earliest possible release date without parole is September 10th, 2055. The story of Cindy Reese is a cautionary tale about the destructive power of secrets and lies. What began as an affair spiraled into a calculated murder that tore apart families and shocked a community. For Michael's family, the pain of his loss is compounded by the betrayal of someone they trusted. Earl Reese, Michael's father, not only lost his son, but also had to grapple with the fact that the woman he had welcomed into his family was responsible for Michael's death. As Cindy Reese continues to serve her sentence, the impact of her actions continues to ripple through the lives of those affected by this tragedy. It's a stark reminder that the choices we make can have far-reaching and devastating consequences, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.